75.3's here, Bubba. Time to put it to work. Gonna build the shop right over there. Next dream shop on the way. So this is what we're gonna set our trusses with. This thing's so quiet, you can't even hear it. Other than the beeping, which I'm about to disconnect it. Watch the video, how to disconnect that. It's the first thing I wanna do. I hate the beeping. And plus, I've got a fence around my whole property. So even if somebody wanted to sneak up behind me, it'd be impossible. And it's got a backup camera. Set our trusses, we've got our bucket, we've got our auger bit, we've got our pallet forks. I got the 60-inch pallet forks so that we'd be able to get our lumber off the trailer with no problem. We're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that Titan attachment. That thing's sweet. Setting the trusses and building our walls with it. We got the high flow series. It's gonna have plenty of power, 75 horsepower, just under 75 horsepower. I think it's 74.9. We got our reversing fan up here optioned out. We got our tripper air filter. The backup cam we talked about, full AC, LED lights. LED lights in the front. Of course, radio and AC model, enclosed cab, completely sealed cab. Hydraulic locking mechanisms, so we don't have to get in and out of the skid every single time we need to put either our pallet forks on or our bucket on. We're still gonna have to get out and hook up our lines for our hydraulic implements, like the auger and the tele. Some people call it a telehandler. What do they call this? A teleboom. It's a Titan attachment. If you're worried or wondering about it, here's the part number. If you're worried about or want to know about the model or anything, there's that. New skid got delivered today. New truck getting delivered today. So we got the skid out there working. We got the fire working. I just leveled all that dirt under the pole barn over there. I just leveled all that dirt so that we could put the implements under there, or attachments, whatever you want to call them. But look at this bad boy right here. Look at this bad boy right here. This is what I'm gonna tow all my trailers with. This thing is bad to the bone, fellas. Need to get me a dang Kubota freaking license plate. That'd be sick. Put on the front of that thing. The American Forces. Hell yeah. What's up, man?
What's happening?
Appreciate you driving this thing from Texas for me. The truck looks good, brother.
Yeah, man. It looked better. It looked better yesterday morning. I ran into a storm last night.
Oh, it's okay. It's no problem. Check this thing out. Paisley, what do you think?
Love it! Pokey!
Brooks, you love it?
Pokey!
Time to delete and tune it. It's way too quiet. We're gonna paint correct it, ceramic coat it at my shop. You guys know we do that. It's how I'm blessed to be able to do things like this. Got an awesome crew up there. We're definitely gonna knock this thing out very soon. Ceramic coating it, and paint correcting it, putting our IR ceramic window tint on it. It's gonna look good. This thing is clean.
It's super nice.
It's clean. It's low mile clean. BDS suspension lift off. Looking forward to this bad girl, putting her to work, towing some heavy trailers, towing some equipment for the pole barn business. It's gonna be sweet. Let me know what you guys think down below. I love it. All right, guys, it's the next day. I'm on the skid loader. We got the truck delivering the rock right now. For the driveway, it's granite, crushed granite. And we got about 150 feet to go with it. I didn't get a good enough grade on it. It's not a perfect grade. I literally did this Not even kidding, 15 minutes, which is not ideal at all, but the truck came a lot earlier than I was expecting it, and I cannot keep this guy all day. So I told him just dump most of it right here where the grade's decent, and then I'll finish up the grading towards the front as soon as he pretty much drops it and gets the truck out of the way. I'll finish the grading up front, and then I'll use the skid loader to get the rest of the crushed granite rock towards the front. Here it starts coming. It's starting to come now. It got caught up a little bit. It's a heavy load. It's a very heavy load. Wouldn't want to be going up higher with it. There's a lot of weight on them rear tires, man. Those wheels. A little bit came out. Once it dries out, it's got a lot of moisture in it right now. Once it dries out, it should be the same color as our driveway for the house, which is what we wanted. A lot of rock. All coming down. Exactly what I told him to do. Told him to keep it most up here. He did that. It's good delivery. Good truck driving. I'll spread the rest of this evenly throughout the driveway. It should be plenty enough. Our building will start kind of in that corner. We put that nail where it'll kind of go. So this will be our pad. Got a lot to do. Got about another foot. You got about another foot left, that's it. All right. Hold. That's it right there. Perfect. I think that's it. It's good. It's good done. Perfect. Spread this out now with the motor, and then we'll be good. I didn't get it on camera, but 2 dump trucks just left. We got 20 yards of fill dirt. It's this red dirt right here. I've already started mixing that first mound. We're just trying to see when we got all our grass out, we of course are gonna take a good amount of dirt with it. So we're just trying to build this pad up a little bit back to where it was. We're gonna have 6 inches of concrete whenever the shop is done. Where the concrete's being poured. My wife's getting some skid steer time right now. She's training, so it's the best time to learn is doing something like this. The joysticks, just trying to get used to the movements and everything. So, but she's good. She's a trooper. I've got this. I just finished this. It's got to dry out. It should end up looking like the driveway when it's done, but for the most part, it's graded. It's not the perfect. It's not the best grade in the world, but it's smooth for the most part. It'll kind of level out a little bit over time as I drive on it and stuff, and the water kind of does its course. But I filled in a couple spots up the driveway that needed some more rock too, so that was good. I got it pretty wide at the entrance here, that way if I've got a big trailer or something, I don't have to make such a sharp angle. I was originally going to do like this, but then I decided to widen it even more. As you see, it's probably 30 feet there at the beginning of it, the apron, and then it kind of narrows out. I'll give you a shot from the other side. All right, so here is the apron coming from this way. So as you see, we drive, pull our trailer into the shop. We're gonna have a big middle door over there. It's gonna be a massive door. The shop, by the way, I don't even know if I've talked to you about that. By the way, this is the first episode of the new dream shop build at the new house. You guys know we did a really cool build series at my old house that seemed to do very, very well, and you guys seem to enjoy it. We kind of talked about how much everything costs, how long it took, everything from ground up. So we're doing the same thing at this house. So stick along to the channel, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And the shop is going to be 60 foot wide, 64 feet long, and 20 feet high. I know 20 feet is actually pretty high. You guys are probably wondering why I'm not going 16 feet. And the reason is because I want to make some kind of second floor in a corner of the shop, so I can have 2 floors like above a bathroom. We're gonna try to go a little more in depth on this shop, a little higher on this shop, a little bigger, a little wider, a little longer, just because the last shop kind of got small pretty quick. It was a 40 by 50 by 12, so it was 12 feet high, and it was great. So this one is going to be a post frame or a pole barn. Some people refer to it as a pole barn building. I'd like to refer to it as a post frame building because it's going to be enclosed, and most people think when they hear pole barn, they think about something like back there in the back of the property. It's been a couple days since the last video that we did the driveway and leveling out the pad and receiving the truck and the Kubota. We just yesterday we polished and coated, ceramic coated at my shop in Dothan, the new truck, and it looks a million times better. It rained last night, so you can see some beading action on the hood that the coating provides and the self-cleaning effect, and it works very, very good. But we polished the wheels, polished the paint, and ceramic coated it, and it looks amazing now. It looks 10 times better than it did before when I first got it, which was only like 3 days ago. But definitely had to polish and coat it, and then we put the windshield tint 55% on the full windshield to kind of darken that up a little bit, make that look good, but still safe at night. So that's the update on the truck. The driveway is looking a little bit better. It rained last night, so we can kind of see some low spots that we need to touch up. Let's walk over there and show you the new trailer that we just got in yesterday. My dog is enjoying it already. Then we got to get to work. We got to get this dirt put into the dumpster. I'm going to use a teleboom to kind of lift that dumpster up and move it closer, because I told him to park it 10 feet away and he parked it like 50, 60 feet away. So that doesn't help. But let's show you the new trailer. This is a 8.5 by 24 foot by 9 feet tall. It is crazy tall because I want my side-by-side to be able to fit inside of it when I go to mud parks. So it had to be this tall because the door, it can only be 8.5 feet tall. So I had to go another foot in height in order to be able to get my side-by-side in it. We have LED lights throughout it. We have powered lights on the outside here that are through that switch. Got outlets everywhere in it. Tie downs all over the place. More LED lights. I got AC and heat put in it. Some more outlets, switches for the LED lights. Fuse panel. I've got my generator hookup, which, by the way, it's locked from the outside, but I have got, I'll show you on the outside where I can plug my generator up. Storing some tools in here. I moved some tools in here last night that we're gonna need today, which the first things we're gonna need is this new hook that just came in from Titan Attachments, because that teleboom that I got for the skid steer didn't come with a hook. So I had to call Titan Attachments and be like, hey man, how am I supposed to use the teleboom without the hook? So I'm about to use that to drag that trailer closer, the dumpster closer. But check out the generator hookup up here, 50 amp. I've got a Harbor Freight generator that I will show you guys later. It's one of those Predator generators and should work out really good. It's got great reviews. But here's the new trailer. Love it. It's massive, but Kind of needed it this big, and we're gonna put a huge logo for the new business on the side of it. Premium Pole Barns LLC will go on the side, and we are gonna be putting up these buildings and using all this equipment. Lumber got delivered yesterday, so we got our 2x8 by 20 foot columns. We're gonna laminate these columns, which just means we're gonna make them all one instead of, you know, separate. So we're gonna put 3 of them together, making a 3-ply column that's 20 foot tall. We got our Midwest permacolumn brackets in. We got 30 of them because we're gonna have 30 columns. These things are beefy. They will go about 2 feet into the concrete, into sonotubes, and we'll show you all that too. We'll get the holes dug and everything. Underneath the Midwest permacolumns are our purlins. So those will go on top of our trusses. We got our side girts here, which we went with 2x6s, and these are 16 footers. So I know I'm gonna get questions about that a lot. By the way, 2x4 by 16 footers are the purlins. We already talked about it, but 2x8 by 20 footers are gonna be the columns that we're laminate 3-ply together. So before I get a million questions on that, that's what we're working with now. We have our batter board set up that we need to get staked into the ground now that we got the land level. So that's what we're gonna do second thing after we move all this dirt so it's out of the way into the dumpster. So first things first, let's get the skid steer. Let's get this dumpster dragged closer so we're not sitting here going back and forth 50 or 60 feet all day or all morning getting that dirt loaded up. Let's see. This may stay on here. This looks like it goes down here. But I can hear my chickens in the background. They're hungry. Chicken coop is right next to the pole barn back here. This goes in here. This goes like this. And gets tightened up. It just feels not as secure as it, I guess, should be, but I mean, we'll see. I guess it'll be pretty strong. And this little clip just goes like that. I'm gonna try to yank that dumpster back a little bit, but first time using the telephone, let's see how it handles. All right, let's see if this tight attachments boom can lift this empty dumpster that's 20 yards. It's probably pretty heavy, but it's on wheels, so, and it's empty, so I got confidence in it. We'll see. I'd say job well done. We got the dumpster right next to the dirt now. It's gonna save me a lot of time. Teleboom did a good job. So let's get this dirt loaded. Well, as you guys can see, we still have a bunch of dirt, which we knew that was going to happen. I probably should have just had 2 of these things put out here, but he only had 1 in this area, so that wasn't even an option anyway. So we were lucky to get this one. I could probably put some more in it in this corner, but he mentioned to me that his truck with, you know, full of dirt might not be able to pick the whole thing up anyway. So I don't want to push it, just to make more work for myself to unload some of this dirt whenever he gets here to put it on his truck. So there's no point in trying to overload this thing just to make more work for myself, especially when I've got all this left. All right, moment of truth here. Let's see if it can pick it up. Hopefully it can. A heavy trailer. Our string lines now. We got this corner kind of set up with a batter board. You see how we do that with the jet stakes? And we're getting it all squared up so we can set our columns or our brackets, really our sonotubes first after we mark it all off. 8 foot on center. All right, so I want to kind of explain what we're doing. We're looking for 63.9 here and 59.9 there, since the building is a 60 foot wide, 64 feet long. When we get our side girts 1.5 inches on either side, on the outside of our post, that's going to give us our true 60 by 64. But for our post layout, what we need to look for, and what we're confirming right now, is 63.9 here. 63.9? Perfect. Hey, let's measure the diagonal one more time. For our diagonal, it's just a quick equation. We're looking for 87 6.5. So 87 feet 6.5 inches is what we're looking for. Yeah, 87 6.5. I'm holding exact. Okay, so we need to adjust an inch. All right, so I've got my Stabila 360 rotary laser, and I've got my measuring stick here so I can get our elevation, so I can make sure all my batter boards and strings are perfectly level no matter what corner they are in. That is my high corner. So now that we got a perfect square, we've got our 87 6.5 on our diagonal, we can mark our post locations. So right now we're going to lay out a tape measure and then use our orange spray paint that we have in the bucket to measure 8 foot on center. So every 8 feet we're going to mark where a post is going to go, or a column. And then we're going to use the skid steer right here with the auger bit attachment, and that's going to dig our holes, and that's going to save us a lot of time. So squaring everything up is kind of the hardest part. Now that we have that done, we're good. All our strings are tight, pulled tight, and they're level. All right, so obviously that dumpster idea did not work. It could not pick it up. So we got with a new company who has a little bit bigger of a truck, and hopefully we can fit. I told him I'm not gonna fill it up all the way, so we're gonna put as much dirt as we can in there. But we still got our column post hole locations that we're gonna dig. It's been a couple of days. I had to do some thinking, so that auger bit that we had is not going to work. The 24-inch bit, I had to send it back and exchange it out for an 18-inch bit, which will be here tomorrow. So I'm also, like I said, I've been doing some thinking. I'm going to put a little bit more fill dirt in here because I'm so low in that corner. So I'm going to put some more dirt on that side now that we got the laser level and everything, and we know how low we are over there and how high we are over here. We're going to bring that part of the pad up a few inches. So first things first, let's get the skid steer, let's get this dirt into the dumpster so it's out of the way, and then we can start building and laminating our columns. All right, so we're gonna start with just that much dirt inside the dumpster. I don't wanna overfill it and have to unload it like I did last time. I was pretty annoying, but we definitely did not overfill it. I want to see if the truck can lift this up first before I put any more in it. Now, if the truck fills it up very easily, then I'll just put some more dirt in it, but it looks like we're gonna need probably 1 or 2 more of those guys. So dirt should be delivered tomorrow. By the way, I got more G&B granite rock ordered for the driveway just to lift it up a little bit more. It's probably fine now, but I also want to build like a kind of like a horseshoe style parking pad, if you will, out front of the shop. I need to do that now before I start putting up my walls so that I can get easier access from this angle. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of grade this grass off, or take this grass off right here in front of the building, so that we can prep for our rock that's getting delivered tomorrow. And we are going to be putting kind of like a parking pad out here, or so somewhere where you don't have to just go directly into the shop, or it's not just grass and then shop. You know, we're going to put a nice rock parking lot out here, if you will, for lack of a better term. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to take that string line down so I can get some better access from that side, and we're going to knock this out really quick. All right, excuse the background noise. My guys are cutting the grass right now, but hopefully you can see what I was talking about. Tomorrow it'll make a lot more sense if you're wondering what we're doing, because we're getting the rock delivered. It's the next day, and boy, do we have a lot of work to do today. So we got the rock delivered as promised. We got the fill dirt, more fill dirt to lift that pad up a little bit, delivered. And way off in the distance there at the pole barn, we have some more rocks. So I also got to we're getting a new dumpster delivered any second. They're going to swap out. They're going to pick that one up, drop one off. So we got to get the gravel spread out. We got to get the dirt spread out and level, because this side of the pad's low. And we got to get that gravel spread out. So y'all going to watch some time lapses. I'm going to jump on the skid steer and get to work. Let's get this knocked out. We still got to build our columns. I got tied up last night, so I wasn't able to build them. But figured this is the priority right now. So I've been working on all this stuff before I start building that. So, a little bitty mound of rock. It was just too shallow in here, and the edges, you know, didn't have enough rock. So edge and the front was kind of shallow, and that back corner is kind of so I was like, yep, let me just get another load. So that's what we did. I think this is 8 yards. I believe it's 8 yards. So I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way by hand, and then jump on the skid and get this stuff spread out. All right, just got done with the grading. I don't know how much you guys saw of the grading part because my battery died, but this looks a lot better. We were very low in this corner. I think we were 4 inches low in this corner. Now we're about 2 inches low in this corner from that corner, so that's good. Looks a lot better, so that'll help us out when it comes to concrete. Now it's time to get this gravel kind of in this apron area, and then make the driveway a little bit higher, and kind of fill in some low spots or so. And then plus I need some fill in my original driveway anyway, and this is the same rock used in my original driveway. So that's what we're going to do now. Set you up on a time lapse and get this knocked out. We got done with that apron outside the shop, and we fixed our low spots here in the driveway at the start of it, where it started to kind of come together. It was low in this corner, so we fixed that, so I'm happy about that. And now this rock, it's made to, once it settles, it'll harden like concrete almost, just like the regular driveway has. And I love it. It's awesome. It's much better than gravel in my opinion, and it's a little more expensive, but it's worth it, because even though it looks like dirt, it's actually crushed granite. There's zero dirt in this material, zero dirt. It all comes from the mine. And now we got this setup here to where if I'm like pulling a truck or something, or want to pull it off to the side or whatever, I can do so. And it's not just grass right outside the shop at the front, so we're not tracking in a bunch of dirt and everything else. So when that pad, that 6-inch slab gets poured, it'll raise it up, and then we'll be able to just drive straight in. And wanted to get this done before we started erecting our walls, so that we weren't having troubles with getting around and moving around this area. So that's done. So I think that's gonna do it for episode 1 of the new dream shop at the house. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, comment down below what you think, any ideas, and subscribe if you are new, because we're gonna be pumping out videos on this build. So I've ordered the trusses, that's the last thing we were waiting on really, and the metal, of course. The metal will be after that. So a couple things left as far as the foundation, you know, just trying to get that dirt out of the way. Other than that, we're gonna start pouring concrete, put our wet set brackets in the concrete, and then start putting together our walls, and then standing up this building, putting our roof on, and going step by step here on YouTube. So follow along if you're new, and subscribe. Diesel's getting him some shade right now. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.